Well, on the air with us today as we talk about the environment here in Mason County from the Pacific Northwest Salmon Center, Tamara Cowles is here. She is the Stewardship Coordinator. Morning.
Good morning.
Thanks for
Good
coming
morning.
on. Good to see you again.
Thanks for having me.
Well, the weather's getting nicer, and people are
Yes.
out recreating, and
Yes, they
they'll
are.
find themselves in the various tributaries around the area. And the next thing they know, they run across this thing on the, what the heck is this? Somebody goes, that's knotweed.
Yeah.
Well, knotweed, that is rough stuff. And that's what we're talking about today.
Yeah, we have
I have
knotweed.
no idea what that is.
Well, Vicki,
Oh,
you're going to learn all you need to know about knotweed. here.
nice.
So knotweed is a perennial, so it drops its leaves during the winter time, and its stems resemble bamboo. I think that's one of the ways a lot of people recognize it. It has a lot of stalks that look like bamboo, but really large leaves that are like teardrop shaped. And what it does is it invades a lot of the wet areas, and it takes over. It's able to outcompete our native plants.
Sure.
Oh.
Yeah, so it grows really quickly, and it can start from little pieces of leaf, stem, or even less than an inch of a piece of root. So it's able to move around in the rivers. When rivers and streams flood, they break some of those roots or the leaves free, and then it moves downstream. So it fills up pretty quickly in the stream.
Where'd the name come from?
Yeah, I'm not sure. It is from, I believe, Asia, and it was brought in as an ornamental. People used it in their yards. It's really pretty, and it unfortunately, though, then it escaped.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How does something like that happen? How does it, I mean, I understand you said that the leaves will drop in the water and they'll go down and things like that, but is that the only way it happens? If someone had it ornamentally, like in their garden, how does it, and how much of it is out there? How does it get around, and how much of it is out there?
So one of the ways stuff can get around as far as a plant's being moved around is people will have it in their garden and then they'll give it to their friends. A lot of times it takes a while to realize that something is invasive,
Sure.
so we might have it for quite a while and it doesn't cause a problem, and then it gets to the right spot and then it causes a problem. Most of our rivers and streams around Hood Canal have experienced knotweed infestations. There's probably a few that have had minimal amounts. A lot of them, our rivers have residents on the rivers,
Yeah.
and so that's where it's come from, is their yards. But there are a few rivers and streams that don't have a lot of residents, and you're probably not going to see knotweed there.
What do you know the first time it was seen in Mason County? Has it been around decades or?
Yeah,
soon?
that I'm not sure about. I know, like Mason Conservation District treats knotweed and controls knotweed along the Skokomish River, and I grew up in that area, and I don't remember ever seeing knotweed as a kid there, but now you can drive up the valley and you can see it from the road in different spots.
So within the last couple generations,
Yeah,
it's
I
gotten
think
pretty
so.
bad.
Yeah.
What does it do to, as we're talking about the Salmon Center and things like that, what does it do to the fish population?
Well, there's been some research out there by several different people, and what they've concluded is that so knotweed is just like alder and cottonwood. It drops its leaves into the stream, and the bugs eat alder and cottonwood leaves, and of course salmon eat the bugs.
Yeah.
So what they found is the knotweed leaves don't have the nutrition level and the bugs aren't being fed properly, and they may not even be eating it.
Oh.
So now you just eliminated that food source.
So not only are there leaves that are piling up because they're not
Yeah.
eating it, then the bugs aren't getting bigger and the fish
Yeah.
aren't eating those. Wow, isn't that something? What else is the Salmon Center doing to stop its spread? I know we've talked over the years of you and the gang even going on and talking with property owners and having some help out for them. What else is the Salmon Center doing?
Well, that's primarily what we do, is work with the landowners, and so in the last 2 years we partnered with Kitsap County Weed Coordinator to try and do another stream, Big Beef Creek, up on the eastern side of Hood Canal. And that is a really beautiful stream, and the knotweed is coming from upstream near a housing area, residential. There's a lake there with a lot of houses, and that's where it started at. And so unfortunately it started to move down into the stream, which is pretty healthy. So right now I think in early June, we're going to have a workshop in that area to talk to the landowners
Sure.
and try and get them on board, not just to let us take care of the knotweed, but to also think about what they are planting in their yards along the streams. Because there's quite a few plants that you probably shouldn't be planting
Oh,
along
I
the stream.
bet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you start downstream and move up to find the source, or do you go from upstream down to control the source?
Well, you want to get the highest patch because it's not going to do any good if you treat downstream and don't take care of that.
Yeah.
But that particular stream, because we were working with Kitsap County, we started surveying at the bottom of the stream. We just happened to be working on a restoration site there, and they came in from the top end of the stream. The county weed coordinators have a little bit different situation than us because they do have some, they work in the realm of government. So
Yeah.
it's a little different than ours. We can a lot of times talk to people and they'll let us just come look. And I'm sure that the weed coordinators have, some legalities that we don't have.
Right. Yeah.
Sure. Let's see. When
It's
Seth,
not a bad looking plant. I just googled it.
No,
so.
it's you can see why, and a lot of beekeepers really enjoy it because it has a lot of flowers, and the bees really love the
oh,
flowers.
really?
Yes, so I guess that is its one saving grace. Is
Yeah.
that the bees love it, and apparently the honey from it is pretty good. So
I know that our native plants here are beautiful, and they have been evolved to flourish in our neck of the woods. But is there ever a good opportunity or a reason to harbor some of these non-native plants? I get that they look good, and some have some aspects that are beneficial. But for overall, should we have any sort of out county or invasive species of any type really that we work on? I mean, do they ever become non-invasive, I guess? Do they ever become
okay.
acclimated to the area and they work in concert as opposed?
Well, I think that there are a lot of plants that obviously we have utilized, and whether it's agricultural or ornamental, and for years, and we've had no problems with. So it really is a small slice that's a problem, and I would encourage people to use native, maybe like on the background or the perimeter of their yard, and then bring the non-natives up closer to your house. That way it's a lot less work.
Oh.
It's better for the animals. You don't have to water, provided that food source. But I think the other thing I would really encourage landowners to do is to look at the county website. The weed coordinator, Pat Grover, has a lot of great information, and then look at the state weed list, because there's a lot of new things that come up, and you don't want to release stuff out there that shouldn't be out there. So that's a great way to see what's going on and what you should avoid.